Today we're gonna seize the day. We got some crazy games to play today. Game Away!
This video is brought to you in part by geeksandgamers.com. Welcome home. Hey gamers, Nick from Game Away here to bring you my review for ARMS, the latest crazy Nintendo game that takes a simple idea and rolls with the punches. Can Nintendo's quirky take on Rock'em Sock'em Robots become a successful new IP like Splatoon? Or will players stretch their arms to the trash can? Let's find out. The relationship I have with ARMS is a complicated one. On one hand, its unique fighting mechanics are hard to get used to, and learning the unusual controls can be frustrating. On the other hand, it provides a simple premise with a surprising amount of depth for the fans that wish to master it. ARMS showcases what the Switch hardware is capable of, and one of the leading examples is the cast of characters each with their own colorful personalities. Ninjara, a student of the Way of the Ninja, and the questionably pulsating green blob Helix are two of the available 10 well-designed fighters. Along with the varied cast, ARMS is well equipped with different types of weapons that will assist you in your fisticuff fights. Before you even master each character, you will need to understand how the game's various equipable arms can impact your strategies in battle. Each of these adorable but dangerous weapons can come with an elemental property, like disabling your opponent's arms or freezing their entire body in place. It's really imperative that you choose a combination of arms relative to the opponent, otherwise you can be armed to the teeth and still get your butt kicked. One thing is for sure, Nintendo really knows how to squeeze every last drop of the console's power to create a colorful world, and ARMS is no different. It comes to no surprise they were able to produce a visually pleasing game like their other recent titles such as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Zelda Breath of the Wild. On single player, the game runs at a native 1080p and 60 buttery smooth frames per second. However, in split screen, the game's resolution is cut to a modest 900p to maintain that frame rate in both portable and docked mode. When there is 3 or more players, it dips down to a locked 30. I wouldn't have minded if the resolution dropped to 720p to keep the frame rate at 60 FPS because, after all, this is a fighting game. Each arena is beautifully crafted with good lighting and allows each stage to stand out from the rest. Crowds are a mix of fully modeled and animated sprites that, while wearing fan attire, cheer and roar when a fighter pummels the opposer. Speaking of pummeling, each arm has its own unique design and elemental properties, which you'll find will glow to match the elemental aesthetic. The arms themselves have characteristics to match the fighters' personalities and backgrounds. For example, Ninjara is training to be a ninja, and his starting arms are the chagrams, which are ancient ninja weapons. These characterized weapons have different playstyles, but I'll get to that in a moment. One of the great things about ARMS is that you don't have to learn combos or other fighting game inputs that are seen in the likes of Street Fighter, Tekken, and others. However, getting that understanding of when to act and when to dodge, you will need to adapt to how the game's various equipable arms can impact your strategies in battle. So, what exactly makes ARMS unique? Each battle consists of extending your arms in condensed arenas that can quickly switch from close quarters to a ranged campfest. Different characters have their own special type of equipment, and a lot of them have attributes. Some do light, medium, or heavy attacks. Some hands have elements like fire, ice, and wind. Some can even burn, stun, or even blind the opponent to victory. The timing of your punches, grabs, and blocks is critical. Punch with your left arm too soon after punching with your right, and you'll be left open until they return. If you've played a fighting game before, the triangle system is here in full force. Blocking stops punches, grabs overpower blocks, and punches deflect grabs. Being able to read the speed of a punch and block before it hits or sidestep and throw a punch of your own is tricky. ARMS can feel sluggish at first, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to confidently dodge, dash, and jump around. Yet, for all the knowledge and skill you gained when playing ARMS, you may find that your preferred control scheme of choice plays a huge role. Motion controls lack the precision of playing with a pro controller, but playing with analog sticks, you will have to manage curving punches and moving around with the same stick. If you're not partial to using a Joy-Con in each hand and literally leaning, punching, and moving your wrists, then you can easily use a pro controller or the Joy-Con grip for traditional fighting game play. However, when playing with traditional controls, to use your Ultra, you have to hold L while your block button is actually the left stick's trigger. I found this and the lack of customized controls to be a major hurdle in my enjoyment of ARMS. If Nintendo allowed you to fully customize your button layout, this wouldn't be an issue. The meat of the game lies in various game modes. Out of the box, Grand Prix mode tasks players with battling the rest of the game's roster in a series of matches. In my experience, even at the lower difficulty settings, Grand Prix can be surprisingly tough. I often would get frustrated just how relentless my AI opponents performed. The punishing difficulty sometimes made me wonder if I misunderstood how to actually play ARMS. But after analyzing the footage, I found that the AI reacts to your inputs on the first frame of animation. That's ludicrous! That aside, players are also thrown into various minigames to pass the time. V-Ball is ARMS' extension of volleyball, where each player tried to extend their punches to smack the volleyball on the other side. If neither side has scored for a while, the ball turns into a bomb and instantly scores for whatever side it's on just to speed up the process. Hoops is a simple mode where two players attempt to grab another to throw or dunk into the hoop. I noticed if the player uses electric-based hands, they are able to hit and stun their enemy for an easy grab. That clearly gives the player a massive advantage. For those looking for an awesome and flawless online experience, will be pleased as players can fight others online in ranked one-on-one fights or unranked party match brawls. Party match is my favorite mode in ARMS, and for good reason. You are dropped into a lobby and matched up with others in a variety of fights. They may be one-on-one, 2 against 2, or 3-player free-for-alls. You may also find yourself fighting cooperatively against a challenging boss character. If your teamwork skills are limited, expect to lose often. If you don't have someone to play with, however, or don't plan on punching out others online, there isn't much left to do here. Besides Grand Prix and an endurance mode where you battle 100 characters, nothing is offered to compel the player to keep playing. There's no real story mode or campaign, and unlike Splatoon, there isn't much lore either. I will note that Nintendo is going the route of Splatoon and offering free DLC that includes characters, among others. Nintendo's Jazzy Sound Studio is back and brings us a whole new catchy theme to get stuck in our heads. Take a listen to this one. Most of the music is pleasant to listen to for the first few times, but there are a few songs that get repetitive. While Nintendo has been using saxophones as the main component of music, ARMS heavily uses vocals and bongos, which lets their music stand out from the rest. I do notice they use the word "oh" a lot. Must be a thing for the world of ARMS. Each stage has its own music to give it a sense of individuality. Springman's stage gave me a Mario Kart vibe, even though it's about as basic as it can get. Min Min's stage is represented by instruments used in China, which definitely fits her character. The sounds of punching, kicking, sliding, and jumping are well defined and are treated as audio cues to read your opponents. The voices for each of the fighters fit their characters, and I couldn't find anything that was off-putting or just plain bad, so good job, Nintendo. The age-old question. Should you play this game? Maybe. While the core gameplay and online is an absolute blast, the lack of modes and single-player content is just out of ARMS' reach. Hopefully future updates will flesh out this game because there is definitely potential here. Thanks for watching my review for ARMS. If you liked what you saw, you know what to do. If you didn't, tell us why. I want to give a huge shout out to Billy and WeamGamer55 for helping me put this together. Check out WeamGamer's 55 channel, he streams a lot of Mario Kart 8 and ARMS. He's also an alright dude, I guess. I love you, WeamGamer55. Make sweet love to me.